Hello, everyone. It's Roy Cornwall. This is the 26th. It's a Sunday, November the 26th, 2023. And this is going to be called Vengeance is Mine, saith the Lord, number 2. And I'm making this one because I forgot to say a couple of things in the last video. Um, People have taken that phrase and thought it meant that the Lord is going to have vengeance on us. No. The Lord takes the vengeance because he can handle it and he won't use it. The vengeance is mine, not yours. Because as soon as a human gets a hold of vengeance, there's anger and a lot of maybe death, negativity, fist fighting. Everything comes from that vengeance. Now, as somebody said to me who saw the last video, what about Sodom and Gomorrah? Isn't that vengeance? I said, no, it's not. It's a viewpoint. If you think you got an angry God, then you're going to think he's taking retribution on Sodom and Gomorrah, vengeance, right? But what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah, and I've said this in the past on other videos, is they were so corrupt and evil in there. But you got to realize every one of those people in Sodom and Gomorrah had a Holy Ghost within them. And those people didn't listen to the Holy Ghost. They didn't let the Holy Ghost guide them. Matter of fact, they went the opposite direction. They did every evil thing possible without listening to the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost saying, don't do that, I'm not listening to you. So all those people, I don't know how many people were in Sodom and Gomorrah, but you could bet there was a passel of them. They, their Holy Ghost was screaming to God, get us out of here. These people are pure evil. We can't, they're not listening to us at all, and they're harming us. Now, don't forget, you can't harm the Holy Ghost. You can't stick a knife in him or shoot him or something, but you can offend him to the point of tears. And that's what was going on. You offend him to the point of tears by smoking or drinking or fist fighting and not listening to the Holy Ghost within you. This harms the Holy Ghost. So imagine how harmed the Holy Ghost are when there's that much skullduggery going on at Sodom and Gomorrah. So he hears this, he knows this is going on, and he still didn't act, right? He sent, I think it was 2 or 3 more angels down to make sure that he had the right idea about this, what was going on. And what happened? They were talking to a gentleman in his home about this, and the whole town surrounded the home and wanted to rape these angels. Now, that was the last straw. God said, I've got to do something here, but I don't want to act in vengeance. God thinks of us as something like a crop. And when you get a part of your crop infected, you pull out all the bad stuff out of that so it doesn't affect the rest of the crop. And that's what he did with Sodom and Gomorrah when he sent down flaming balls of sulfur. He separated Sodom and Gomorrah from all the good people, so it wouldn't infect everybody. That was not an act of anger or evil. That was an act of love for all the good people. I'm sure the people in Sodom and Gomorrah didn't appreciate it, but think of all the millions of people that were around that was going to infect. Don't forget, these people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they created an army to do bad. It was the army of badness that surrounded that guy's house. This isn't one person doing wrong. They were mobilizing evil, and he had to put a stop to it. Now, there is another case in the Bible that somebody said to me, and because I don't read the Bible, I've gone to Bible study and listened to what the pastor says and everything. So, the Sea of Galilee, I think it is, where the Lord opened the sea and let all those civilians go through because the army was going to slaughter them. That was an act of love. He let all those people get to the other side, and the Holy Ghost of all those military men, screaming at him, "Don't go in there!" But evil doesn't listen to the Holy Ghost. They were warned, "Don't go in there, because the Lord is going to close this on you." They didn't listen. They went in there, and the Lord closed it to protect the good. Was that an act of evil? No, that was an act of good to protect the innocent and the righteous from evil. The same thing that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. The Lord does not act in vengeance. He does not act in anger. Does he get angry? Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's running around heaven punching walls because rapists, murderers, Sodom and Gomorrah, all the evil on this planet comes because Adam took a bite of the apple and gave all of us the right to decide. Don't forget, when you decide, there's not just one side or the other. It's yes, no, or God's way. And if you don't ask for God's way, you're going to be wrong whether the answer is yes or no for you. There's repercussions to your decisions, and that's what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah with and all these other places where things in the Bible where people say, "Oh, God is vengeance. Fear of the Lord. Fear of the Lord." Excuse me. There's no fear of the Lord. There's no fear of the Lord. When I died and I went to heaven, and Jesus looked at me and he smiled, I got this download. You don't have to fear the Lord. The Lord is not. It's your repercussions that you have to fear. Because you were given the ability to choose, you're also going to pay the repercussions for making the wrong decision. So that's what you should fear, is your own. Don't throw this back in the Lord's lap. This is our fault for Adam biting into that apple, and we're all going to pay for this. The only way we don't pay for it is if we listen to the Lord. So when the Lord looked at me and he smiled, Jesus Christ, it was the most pleasant, heartwarming smile. And I remember saying to myself, why is he smiling at me like that? I think because he knew I was going to take this tact in defense of the Lord. And people who don't like, they think that God's going to get into their life and dictate what they do. No. You got the ability to choose. We're asking you to choose the Lord. Because he's a lot smarter than you or I. He's been around for a lot longer. And Jesus is such a kind individual. It supported what he said, don't fear the Lord. I wish everybody could see what I saw. Jesus Christ smiling. I mean, it wasn't just a normal smile. He was very happy to see me. Even though at the time I wasn't going to church and I didn't really even believe in law. I know people talked about it and all that. But he knew how it was going to change me and how I was going to act after. So he was very happy with me. So much so that God himself spoke to me. I can't believe all this is happening with me, truthfully. It's not driving me crazy or anything, but man, when you hear God's voice, you know he's taking time out to talk with you. I must be doing something right. So this is why I don't read the Bible. I don't like to let mistakes that are put in the Bible, like fear the Lord, enter into my world. I take my education from Jesus Christ himself. And that's where we're coming from for vengeance too. Please don't think the Lord is an angry God. He does get angry, but he never acts on his anger. That's why he says vengeance is mine, because he never acts with vengeance. If he did, there'd be a lot of dead people lying around. Murderers, axe murderers, everybody in prison would be dead. There'd be no prisons. God's vengeance is going to take over. That's not what's happening here. Look around you. So don't let somebody use the fear of the Lord to keep you from going to the church. Learning the Bible is the first step. You don't have to learn it all, and you don't have to learn it word for word, start from memory reciting Psalms. And okay, you don't have to. All you do is know the Lord died on the cross for us. Then the second step is baptism. I've said this before in some of my last videos. I implore you to go back and listen to this. Giving, singing songs in earnest, the Ten Commandments. There's 9 of them. If you can do them regularly every day, that's called walking with the Lord. And when you do them, the Lord feels that He can talk to you without you going crazy and going to a psychiatrist and say, I got to hear a voice in my head. No, he won't do that harm to you. The only way He knows if you're able to handle what He's saying and know who it is and all this is if you're doing these 10 things. So the church doesn't tell you these 10 things. They only want you to know the Bible so you can go in there and give money to learn the Bible. That's the start and end of all, and that's absolutely wrong. So I want everybody to just stay healthy, to be kind, because if you're sick in the hospital, you can't help nobody, not even yourself. Quit smoking, quit drinking. Try to be as healthy and as good as you can. And blessings, everyone. Blessings. Bye bye.